Hey everyone, welcome back to A Man in His Cave. Today we're going to show you just how easy it is to set up your brand new Gen 2 Kegerator. This one really is the most superior entry-level Kegerator on the market. Make two key upgrades to it. Upgraded compressor so that it runs far quieter and it's far more energy efficient. So that's really good, especially if you're going to put this one inside your house. Now secondly, we've pre-assembled your font and tap kits so that they're 90% done for you. Takes the guesswork out of it, makes it a much simpler and faster process. So I'm going to show you how easy it is to do and give you some helpful tips and tricks as well so that you become a Kegerator master in no time.
The unit comes with these 4 caster wheels, which are really helpful if you're going to have your unit freestanding and you want to be able to maneuver it around the place. Now there's 2 different types of the caster wheels. 2 of them you'll notice have these brake pads on them. Now it's a really good idea to install these ones with the brake pads at the front of the unit as opposed to at the back of the unit. And that's because you'll see at the back here, there's this inbuilt wheel. And if you install the brake or caster wheels at the back, they'll catch on that wheel and you won't be able to maneuver the unit properly. Now, if you do lie the unit on its side like this at any stage during transportation or to install the caster wheels, it's really important that you tip the fridge up level and upright and don't plug it in for about 24 hours after doing so, just to let the coolant in the system settle back into place. All right, that's really important. So you don't want to be in a rush to pour your first schooner at the expense of the mechanics of your fridge. Installing your font and taps kit is super easy. It should only take you a couple of minutes because we've pre-assembled it for you. If you have a look inside here, you'll see that the beer line is already hooked up to the shank on the taps here. So all you have to do is take your beer line, feed it through the top of the unit, feed it all the way in there, and then you want to screw your font onto the top of the unit, or if you're putting it into cabinetry or on a bench top, this will just get installed on top of your bench top. Insert your 4 screws. Now you can use a screwdriver or a drill, whatever you have handy. All right, once your font is screwed into place, you want to take your X tap, can screw on your black handle, and then you're just going to screw your tap into the shank here. You just hold it in front, screw it into place like so. Make sure it's nice and straight. Now you want to take your multi-tool that comes with every unit and just tighten your tap so it's nice and firm. Making sure it's straight. Put your cap on, and just like that, you're ready to pour. Setting up your gas bottle and regulator is really simple as well. This one here is a 2.6 kg gas cylinder. That's the one that we'll most commonly send out with any bundles and any Gen 2s. You can also get a larger 6 kilo gas bottle, but we'd really only recommend that one for the larger commercial grade units, as this one will get you 400 litres worth of pouring. So that is going to last most people ages before you need to get it refilled or replaced. Now setting it up is very simple. You're going to take your X pressure type 30 regulator and screw it into the main outlet of the gas bottle. And then once again, you'll see with the gas line, we've pre-assembled this duo type fitting for you. So it's really simple. All you need to do is screw it into the underside of your regulator. There we go. And now you just have to decide where you're going to position your gas bottle. So if the unit is freestanding, like this one, I'd recommend putting it on the holster that comes with the unit. That one just installs on the back of the unit. There's some slots where that goes into place. Now, if you're building the unit into cabinetry or a bench top, you might want to consider storing the gas bottle on either side of the unit or even inside the unit as well, depending on how much space you have in there. Remembering that you do need 100 mil of ventilation on either side of the unit. So if you're going to store the gas bottle on one side, you're going to need about 15 centimeters worth of clearance so that you can account for the gas bottle being stored there. Using the gas bottle and regulator is not as complicated as it might first seem, especially if you're new to using a gas system and you see all these knobs and dials. You think, what the hell is going on? Don't worry, I'll tell you how it all works. It's very simple. Now, based on where you have the gas bottle position, you're going to want to open up one of these two ports in the backhand side of the unit. I'm going to open up this one in front of me here. And then take your gas line, feed it through the hole so that it's all the way inside the unit. Get it all the way in there. All right, now there's a couple of different dials on your regulator that you'll see here. The one on the top of the regulator, that shows the PSI or pressure that's feeding into your gas line and then into your kegs and couplers. The one on the side feeding horizontally into the regulator, that shows the internal gas pressure within the gas bottle itself. Now you notice that this reading will remain relatively constant throughout the entire time that you're using your gas bottle, and it will only begin to drop pretty much as the gas bottle is out of gas, all right? So the easiest way to check how much gas you have remaining in your bottle is to turn off the system, disconnect your regulator, and just pop your gas bottle on your bathroom scales and see how much it weighs. When this bottle is brand new, this is a 2.6 kg gas bottle, it will weigh around 10 kilos in total, and when it's empty, it will weigh about 2.6 kilos less than that. So that's the easiest way to check how much gas you have remaining. Now, to use the system, you have these two different knobs. The black knob on the top of the unit here, that controls your main supply of gas feeding from inside the bottle into the regulator. And then this gray knob here, this one controls the gas that's flowing from within the regulator into your lines and into your system. So to use the bottle, you need to turn it on at the main supply first, and we'll start feeding some gas into the regulator. And then you'll notice that this regulator is nice and loose when you first get it. You want to turn this gray knob clockwise until it begins to catch. Now at this point, as you keep turning it, it's going to start releasing the gas into the lines, and you'll notice that the dial on top of the regulator will begin to slowly move up. Now, different types of kegs and alcohols will require different gas pressures. Most commonly, you're going to be using it for commercial brands of alcohol and beers, ciders, stuff like that. All of those kegs will require a gas pressure of somewhere between 8 and 12 psi. So we'd recommend releasing it until the dial moves up to around 8 psi, and then do a test pour to see how much head or foam you're getting on your beer. And if you're happy, you can leave it at 8. And then if not, you can keep increasing that anywhere up to around 12 to 14, and just experiment with it until you get your desired pour. And you can manipulate that at any time you like. Now, some kegs, like soda water, for example, it requires gas pressure up to around 30 to 35 psi. And then beverages such as sparkling wine can require up to as much as 95 psi. So you can also purchase an inline regulator. Now what that allows you to do is split your gas lines between different kegs and administer different pressures going to those different kegs. So you could have a number of kegs inside your system that require different gas pressures, and you only would need the one gas bottle in that case. All right, so now that you have your font and taps set up and your gas bottle is ready to go, all that's left to do is hook up your keg and you're ready to start pouring. Now, broadly speaking, there's two different categories of kegs. There's kegs that are pre-filled with alcohol, like this 50-litre commercial keg or this 20-litre size keg. And then there's ball lock kegs, like this 19-litre ball lock here, that are used for home brewing or to take to a brewery to have filled up with a beverage of your choice. as these ones here open up on the top and you can fill them up with your own homebrew. You could fill them up with soda water or soft drink, or you can take it to a brewery and select a beverage for them to fill it up. Now, these 19 litre or even 9.5 litre ball lock kegs, they're really simple to use. We have these plastic connection pieces. They simply lock on to the ball lock fittings, like so. And then all you need to do is connect your beer line or your gas line. You plug those in and the system is ready to use. Now, as for pre-filled kegs that already have alcohol in them, they're a little bit more complex and they require a commercial keg coupler. Now, the different brands of alcohols will require a different coupler depending on which supplier makes the keg. But there's only two types of keg couplers that you need to wrap your head around, and that is these two here. So we have the A-type coupler and the D-type coupler. Now, A-type coupler, that is for any Lion Nathan keg, and that's popular beverages like 4X Gold or Heart Super Dry. And then you have a D-type coupler, and that is for any Carlton United beverage. You make popular drinks like VB or Great Northern, your Carlton Dries and Drafts. Now, regardless of which type of coupler your keg requires, they function pretty much in the same way. So I'll show you this A-type coupler here first. Now, A-type couplers, they have these lips here, and you'll see that just slides into place over the top of the keg, like so. Now, you want to make sure that when you're setting up your system, that at this point, your gas bottle is switched off. You do not want to turn on your gas until your coupler and lines are all connected and your fridge has been turned on with your keg chilling in there for at least 12 hours. It's better if it can be 24 hours or longer. The longer you let that keg chill first before you go to use it, the more ideal of a result you're going to get when you go for your first pour. Now, using the coupler is very simple. You just want to connect your beer line. Now that goes in to the top outlet of the coupler or the vertical outlet, plugs in like so, and that's going to feed up into your taps. And then you want to take your gas line and feed that into the horizontal outlet of your coupler. Now you'll see here, these are firmly locked into place. They're not going anywhere. If at any point you want to release your beer or gas lines to change them over or to give them a clean, for example, all you need to do is apply some pressure onto the black lip here at the top of the coupler outlet, and that will allow your lines to release like so, nice and easily. All right, now, using a D-type coupler works pretty much the same way, except it has these screw threads instead of a lip. So for that one, you put it in place in the keg, and then you give it a twist to lock it into place. And then when you're ready to tap your keg, you're gonna clamp down on these levers to pierce the keg, and that will open the keg, connect the system. Now, it's important to note with alcohol that once you clamp down on this lever, that's called tapping the keg. Once you tap the keg, you're going to have anywhere between 8 and 12 weeks to drink that alcohol in the keg before it gets too oxidized and will go off. Now, this Gen 2 fridge is rated to hold different combinations of kegs inside of it. It will fit one of these 50 litre commercial size kegs at a time, or it can fit up to 3 of these 20 litre size kegs, and it can even fit up to 4 of these 19 litre size kegs in there. Now, depending on what combination of kegs you have inside your fridge, if you have multiple kegs, you're going to need a few of these grey T-pieces to split your gas lines. Now, if you order a double tap, triple tap, or quadruple tap, we will send you the appropriate amount of these grey T-pieces, but you can also purchase them at any time on our website. Now, these work very simply. The main feed from the gas bottle and regulator feeds in the top, and then you can split your gas lines to feed into your different couplers out of these side ports here of the T-pieces, and you can do that as many times as you need to split it between as many kegs as you can fit inside your fridge.
Don't forget to hit like and subscribe and tap the bell to be notified when we drop a new video. In the meantime, we reckon you'll froth this one.